Time for your daily Marvel Snap video, and we've got a hot location coming in tonight, Saturday night, which will run for 24 hours, and it shows up 60% more, so it does pop up a lot, and that is going to be Asgard after turn 4. Whoever's winning here draws 2 cards. My approach to this location, which is not very original really, is going to be Zabu. And the thinking is that you play Zabu on turn 3, and then you have the option to play 2 forecast cards on turn 4. Zabu loves drawing cards, and I think that works very well with that featured location. There may be other things that work, but that's what I'm going to focus on when that featured location is there for the next 24 hours at a 60% higher rate, is going to be Zabu decks. And then also, some people have asked for me to look into Ronin. This is the only Ronin build that I could find. Ronin uses Baron Mordo and Maximus. Does not look like it has a very good win rate, but I will try and look a little bit further. Now, the topic of today's video is right here. Is as a free-to-play player, the current meta feels like a joke. And I'm going to just say something real quick here. And I've said this in the other games that I've covered. Good value, low-cost offers, basically low-cost offers that are high value for the people that are willing to spend a modest amount of money, are bad for free-to-play players. A very expensive, low-value offer doesn't really impact free-to-play players at all. Let the Krakens buy the bad offers. It doesn't really affect me. What happens, and what is happening currently in this game, is that the Battle Pass is providing an incredible value with very strong cards. We're going to talk about Silver Surfer in particular and Zabu, but these are cards that possibly should be nerfed, right? They're very strong, and anybody that's willing to spend the $10 is going to get a very good card. My personal opinion is this, that I feel like Black Panther was a good example of a good Battle Pass card that gave value. He was interesting. I got to do some cool stuff with him, but he didn't define entire metas. And I actually feel like MODOK is going to be a good Battle Pass card. I'm going to play him. Is he going to break the game? No. Is he going to make discard decks more fun? Yes. But is every deck going to be a MODOK when he comes out in February 6th? Probably not. He's probably going to be more on the fun side, similar to that of Black Panther. Now, I just want to read this right here, and then I'll clarify my thoughts on the Battle Pass, because I do think the Battle Pass is a good value. If you're going to spend $10 on Marvel Snap, I think it's $10 well spent. There's a tremendous amount of value. The first $10 you should put is definitely into the Battle Pass. I can justify buying a Battle Pass cards because I look at this game as a source of entertainment. I could spend X amount of dollars going to a movie. I'd rather spend $10 and get more than 2 or 3 hours of entertainment out of a Battle Pass card. But let's read this, because this really resonated with me right here. As a free-to-play player, current meta feels like a joke. Probably just a bit steamed as I say this, but the meta right now feels like a bad joke. Every single deck I run into the high 80s, low 90s is Zabu, Surfer, Shuri. Yes, those are probably one of the 3 best cards in the game, let's say. Maybe Darkhawk in there too. Or some mix of the 3, plus the occasional odd Galactus or Thanos deck. As a free-to-play player, makes it feel like there's nothing I can do about most of these decks, and the decks-based matchmaking is frustrating. And I got to say, this player is doing very well if they're free to play in the 80s or 90s. There's a guy on Twitch named Ozenmud who's free to play, and he gets to infinite, but it's a struggle for him. I feel like he's walking uphill for sure. Zabu runs counters to big cards with Shang-Chi and to Zoo decks with Enchantress, and that's if they just totally don't shut you down with Spider-Man. They can do each twice with Absorbing Man. Of course, they could also just play each twice with Moon Girl. Even if you run Rogue or Enchantress to counter them, you still up wasting a turn on shutting down Zabu while they drop 2 drops on turn 4. Sandman just shuts down by Enchantress, and Leech comes out too late, even ramp decks. This is true, and I feel like Sandman is like one of my the concept of Sandman doesn't really work the way that I'd want it to. I feel like Sandman needs a buff. I also feel like Zabu decks need a hard counter, and there really isn't a hard counter necessarily. There are some counters, but they don't always work. And a Sandman, just bad tempo, and Zabu has already played two 4-cost cards on turn 4. By the time you play Zabu, how much power do those cards have versus the 1 power Sandman? It just doesn't really work right. Silver Surfer feels like it doesn't matter how much power I put down, it's never enough. Even if I try to save Cosmo for the counterplay, Silver Surfer works anywhere on the board. So if I get it in on 1 in 3 times, they can also run Killmonger to kill any sunspots, and Maximus, which is busted on turn 6 with Silver Surfer, not to mention the fact they can totally shut down Dracula. Yes, Shuri decks are just a mess of cards I haven't even gotten an opportunity to unlock yet. You can't Cosmo them because Shuri can go anywhere, and you can't leech them because of cards like Mary Red Skull and Infinite. It just feels like every meta deck right now, you just have to get lucky to win, but I have to get lucky 4 times and outplay them. So, which would be so bad if it wasn't the fact that the meta decks are all basically locked behind paywalls. So I absolutely agree with this. I feel like the game needs to have a good place for free-to-play players, needs to have a good place for Battle Pass players, and it needs to have a good place for Mega Krakens, right? In these monetized mobile games, you can't just have a game where only the Krakens thrive or only the Battle Pass players thrive. You need to have a good experience for free to play. And one of the problems I think the free to play players are experiencing is, like, let's say Silver Surfer, for example. Silver Surfer, first of all, the Battle Pass cards do not go to Series 5 until it's over. So like right now, Zabu is the Battle Pass card, and my best guess is that he will go into Series 5 on February 6th, maybe, when MODOK comes to the game. And so Silver Surfer is currently in Series 5, and they've announced that he will be dropping from Series 5 to Series 4 on the next drop, which is probably going to be 5 weeks out from this drop that's happening on the 31st. So we're speculating. So maybe that's the end of February, early March. And then what? Another 2 months for him to sit in Series 4. This could be 3 months before Silver Surfer is available in Series 3. And Zabu will be going, in a couple weeks to Series 5. Maybe he'll sit there for a month or 2, and then another 2 months. And it could take months before they drop down. Now, they will have, you will have an opportunity to get these cards for free over time. But there's new cards coming out. And what is going to be the next Zabu? What is going to be the next Silver Surfer? So I hope that future Battle Pass cards are more in the flavor of Black Panther or potentially MODOK rather than Zabu and Silver Surfer. And then we got into a discussion about, how would you nerf Silver Surfer? Why does this guy give +3 power? Every card with similar effects is 1+2. Am I missing something? And I proposed an idea that nobody liked, because it introduces more RNG, and nobody seemed to like this idea when I said it. It says, on reveal, give your other 3 costs +2-3 power, for 2 to 3 power. Make it RNG. Half the time, each card individually gets a 50% chance at 2 or a 50% chance at 3. So you're buffing like 6 cards. Some of them will go +2 power. Some of them go +3 power. And largely when I proposed this idea, most people are like, no, that's trash. We don't need no more RNG. Someone in my chat, Dan, said, for every card he buffs, he gets -1 power, which is also kind of interesting. But I think most Silver Surfer players typically put Silver Surfer on the lane they're trying to lose. They're just trying to win 2 lanes, and then they drop Silver Surfer into the 3rd lane. So I don't know if that'll make a difference, but maybe that would. I think that is interesting suggestion for sure. Also, I thought this was kind of interesting. Make your opponent retreat before you request help on this one. Snap turn 6 when you're ahead. Yeah, that's for sure. And then right here, this is an interesting thread. Me hoarding gold for the next bundle with tokens. And it's, of course, the Pablo Escobar meme. And it shows him hoarding gold, waiting for the collector tokens. So here's the thinking on that. And I've talked about this before, but we'll talk about it again, is that there were 2 offers that came to the game that were for gold that included collector tokens, and they were amazing. People that had saved their collector tokens, people that have saved their gold were able to get a generous amount of collector tokens, in my opinion, for that. And everybody said, okay, the best use for gold is to save for these offers for collector tokens. The reality is we don't know if there's ever going to be another offer like that at all. So, I mean, if you're not, if you're saving your gold, you are holding your collection power back. And typically the best way to spend gold is to refresh your missions, because refreshing missions will also give you extra points towards the battle pass, which gives you those crates after level 50 aren't amazing, but it's something, right? And so I'm not sure if that is the right thing to do at this point, but I definitely understand the idea of hoarding and waiting for the option. But the truth is we don't know. Maybe stay tuned. I think the data mines are going to be coming in soon for what the offers are going to be in the next run. And maybe we know what the offers are going to be for about a month in advance, but we don't have that information yet. Also, I want to forecast something, since we're talking about, power creep and cards that are very strong. There is going to come a limit in this game where, they're going to introduce a stronger card and a stronger card and a stronger card, and more creative mechanics and more complicated mechanics. And something that they're going to do, and I'm calling it now, is they're going to introduce factions and specific call outs to other cards. That way they can make a more powerful card, but the card is only more powerful card if it's played in conjunction with several other cards. And I'm not talking about call outs to discard or call outs to ongoing. I'm talking about call outs to factions. Like, imagine if there was a card similar to Silver Surfer where it gave boosts only to mutants or something along that line. And there are already cards in the data mine that are doing this. And I'm calling it now that this is the future of the game. And I've seen this in other mobile games where the game starts off super generic and then it becomes more specific with more call outs as the game matures. And this is an example of it right here. Surtur, this is a card in the data mine. Everything in the data mine is subject to change, but this is a card that's in the data mine right here. If you move the Human Torch to this location, plus 10 power. Okay, right? Here's another one right here. Phoenix. Phoenix Force. It says, on reveal, revive one of your destroyed cards with plus 5 power. If it's Jean Grey, plus 10 power. And the game will go in this direction. And I think that's fine, but that's the way that I see the game maturing. Okay, well, now it's time for the giveaway. What we do at the end of all these videos is we give away a variant. And it's kind of a joke. This is not serious. This is tongue-in-cheek. So I really hope you liked today's video, because if you did, you're in luck. For every single person that likes today's video, you'll be getting for free in your account a Mystique variant. This is not a scam. I like this right here. So this is Mystique is one of the variants. Looks like this, and this was drawn up on Reddit. And it says, I drew a personalized birthday card for my sister-in-law. Can you guess which card I used as a template? Yeah. All right, let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming. Bye for now.